Yeah, never do that. But no, I do appreciate you hear our wonderful guest, who we will name shortly. But I have to call GC out. GC fucking was like, guys, you guys need to stop cutting off people segueing. You need to stop rambling. My job is so hard. I'm sick of your bullshit. Cut it out.
I remember him saying that. Yeah.
He said it in our little Discord, and I was like, well, I'm. Well, is it someone in particular? He was like, no, we all do it. And lo and behold, when GC says we all do it, it means fuck Cullen.
That's not what I meant. I wasn't even referencing that.
Yeah, cut that bit out though, and instead replace yourself going, damn, I'm a terrible person.
I just want to preface that all of the meanness here is between friends. We all know each other really well.
Talk to strangers like this.
No, do not. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Burnout Culture. The industry sucks, and so do we. I'm one of 4 hosts this week. My name is Kazuma.
I'm GC. I edit the podcast.
So are you two not going to introduce yourselves, or?
Cullen has to go first. I'm a guest.
I'm tired. Hi.
I'm Jake. I draw the little art for the podcast, the little pictures, the little dudes.
And he's my little baby bear.
No, that's me too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, Jake, thank you for joining us. Would you like to explain how you two met?
Oh my god.
Okay, so we met.
Anyway, we just recently hit 100 followers on Twitter or whatever Musk is trying to call it now. I don't give a fuck. So that means all of us are going to compete to see who can plank the longest. Everyone get on the floor.
All
That's
right.
amazing. Okay. Congratulations, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Get on the floor. Drop.
Okay, I'm gonna plank.
I'm totally planking right now.
Oh my god, are you not actually doing it?
I'll be stopping the time.
Okay, I'm planking.
Wait, I didn't say go.
Oh my god, I'm already planking.
No, stop. Get like in a rest position. We need to all start at once.
Okay.
Jake, are you planking?
And I'm stopping the time.
Oh, are you gonna time it?
Yeah, I'm gonna time it.
Okay. So when you give up, say cowabunga.
Okay.
All right, Jake.
All right, I'll count down. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so Jake, it's really great to have you on the podcast.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
It's been I really appreciated all your art.
This is great audio. This is fantastic audio.
Yeah, fuck you, GC! Everybody thank GC for editing the podcast.
Again, thank you, GC. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hey, Kazuma, you're not saying anything.
I'm focusing.
Concentrating on not falling over.
That's not fair.
I think he's planking.
I think he's
cheating. I'm planking, but what they don't know is I'm capable of basically laying in one position for a very, very, very long time.
I bet you're eating chips or something, sitting on the ground.
No, I'm planking.
What's the timer like, Jake?
Almost a minute.
Wow!
That's very impressive.
I'm gonna be real with you guys. It's actually easier to plank while talking because you can be distracted by the agonizing pain on your abs.
This is easy. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Anyways, so do we want to talk about the news?
Yeah. Square Enix lost a lot of money.
Cowabunga.
1 minute and 32 seconds. That's our GC unbelievable time, a personal record.
I'm here to save the podcast. So Square Enix lost a lot of money.
Can Cullen give up? My elbows are chafing.
You should change your YouTube name to GC Unbelievable.
Okay. I couldn't make sense of that, but anyway.
Are they making bad decisions? What's going on over there, huh?
Square Enix? I mean, this comes from Square Square Enix losing money is like from a long history, a recent history of just, in my opinion, really poor management of their product line.
For example?
For example, like all of like the really bad like little to no advertising for their mid-budget titles last year, and like Dealfield Chronicle, Harvestella,
Okay, cowabunga.
Dungeon Encounters.
Thank you. I can save my fucking elbows now. Jesus.
Ugh. How do you do that? Anyway, Square Enix and losing money get together. They go together like peanut butter and jelly.
But yeah, talking about Square Enix's marketing, you were talking about Deofield, right?
Yeah.
What I think is so funny is that they blame all of their like financial blunders on that game when it was like a AA game at most. I actually played it. I really enjoyed it.
That game rules.
Yeah, they did no marketing about who the composer was, and it was the Game of Thrones composer. They didn't do any marketing regarding like its story and stuff. And it was interesting because they blamed that game for like the financial, like, I wouldn't say ruin, but for the lack of success for that company when they still have to make up for all the profit lost from the Avengers.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
And not to mention their mobile games that are failing as well.
Also, Rebirth underperforming is just so wild.
There's also that.
Like,
Not to me, I'm a hater.
You know what?
I stand alone in this podcast as always.
No, Jake actually likes Final Fantasy VII, but
7 is my favorite one.
Cool.
Thank you. I know I have great taste.
Yeah, you really do.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're not
Yeah.
here for conflict. Please, go on.
no. No, if we wanted conflict, I'd be like, hey, sweetie, how do you feel about Final Fantasy XIV?
Oh, the hater episode is already over. Come on.
Okay.
I'm not
Also,
here.
why would that be conflict? You bitch about 14 every podcast and we just go, okay.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Because we got someone burnt out and someone who doesn't care, and then we got a hater. There's no conflict about 14 discussion here.
No, not until no. I don't even think when Dawn Trail comes out, there's going to be a conflict here. I
No,
think
I'm not
GC
even
and
gonna
I
play
will
it.
be hater. I will play it and stream it to you guys as I'm going through it because I really want to see GC's reactions.
Oh, I'll pay attention closely.
I'm going to wait until I give a fuck, and I will play it for myself.
Which means never.
Oh God, yeah. But yeah, 7 underperforming. I'm not actually surprised about that.
No, I mean,
No, because Final Fantasy 16 had that high during the first month or so, and then people kind of turned around back on it and were like, I don't know if this was as good as I remember it being. And I know you're a dyed-in-the-wool like 16 liker.
it has become a lover to a liker.
Yeah. Sorry, you love it.
Oh, okay.
But do you love it?
I mean, I'm very fond of the game, and I am choosing to not replay it for a while so I can keep that fondness in my heart because I enjoy enjoying things more than I enjoy being a bitter, hateful, spiteful creature.
You're like, I don't want to hate you. I don't want to hate you. And
I
you
don't
just
want to
own
hate it. I see that's the problem where it's just like I really don't want to hate Clive's fat tits.
You don't have to hate Clive's fat tits. You
Yeah,
can
me
love Clive's
either.
fat
I
tits and
love
hate the
Clive.
game.
But that game is garbage.
I don't hate the game. It's just like also just like every time it does some dumb shit, I'm just like, come on. I want to like you. Come on.
Yeah, it's so going back to like the marketing and sales and stuff, I'm not surprised 7 Remake didn't do as well as it could have because of 16 becoming really divisive shortly after it released. It wasn't even like
That remake was divisive.
yeah, sure. I mean, the thing is, everybody really liked that remake initially, and then they got hit with all the mini games, and then people kind of were not as enthusiastic about it. But I think the lack of brand strength for Final Fantasy has contributed to the overall like dip in sales for the series overall, and I think 16 unfortunately did contribute to that.
Mm-hmm.
If 16 had been I'm not going to say better because I think that game is really technically competent. If it had been a different game, maybe the series would be in a better spot, have like a better trajectory, I suppose. But yeah, I think it's really weird that Square blames the failings of its mainline series, which has been dwindling in popularity since Final Fantasy XV, on mid-budget games.
It's just kind of weird to me to just think about how games like this are made, because AAA games are not just made where someone's like, oh, I got an idea, let's make that in 3 years. There's so much pre-production on games like this. There's like, without a doubt, this game probably started like pre-production in probably like 2016, 2017. Back when that Game of Thrones high was at its peak. And after such a long time, people...
It was in pre-production, I think, after Heaven's Ward.
Yeah. Like after all of that time, like people just aren't as into that. And this game was not good enough for so many people to rekindle any flame.
Again, I was the target demographic for that game. Like, I was legitimately the target demographic for that game.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Like you say, they started this when people were on the Game of Thrones high. This game came out when I was on the Game of Thrones high because I watched that shit for the first time, and I still thought the game was garbage.
No, I'm not talking about quality. I just like what interests people.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But like, I think they wanted to make it be like, have the same, like, again, interest, same demographic as Game of Thrones. But sorry, there isn't enough substance at all. It's just not written well, I think.
Hang on, I'm actually checking something too.
Because I feel like if 16 had
So it actually came out after House of the Dragon, and House of the Dragon was a huge success.
Oof.
Yeah, I feel like if 16, like my argument's kind of like if it had come out anytime sooner, any other year sooner, I don't think it would have changed anything.
Also, I think like there is a possible future where that game was more of a success, and I think it's one where it was not a console exclusive.
Yeah.
I also think it's one where a lot of people were alienated by what the developer said about no black people in Europe.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck. I forgot about that.
Yeah. I think there were a couple of PR blunders regarding that game.
I think my brain just had this like natural survival instinct of deleting memories like that.
They gotta stop letting Yoshi P talk.
Yeah, that would be good if media training... I'm sure they media trained him, but I think him talking a lot is a blessing and a curse, because when he shares some really interesting facts about how the game gets made, that's actually really like cool. But then when it comes to stuff like having to over-explain why he thinks black people weren't in Europe, that's kind of a big, from someone who used to work in PR, it's kind of a really big like, ooh, fuck, Yeah,
it really makes me kill myself.
Yeah.
Every time he opens his mouth, like 9 out of 10 times, there's always something stupid coming out. I'm sorry, but like.
Oh, Hater Aid episode 2.
I'm sorry. I've met this guy several times in person. He's always so full of shit. It's so fucking annoying. Like, I hate people like this that are so like, what's the opposite? I'm sorry. My first, to everyone listening, my first language is not English. So what's the opposite of genuine?
Fake?
A strong opposite, not just fake. Fake sounds silly.
There's disingenuous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He's so disingenuous. Like, it seeps out of his like it oozes out of his orifices when he talks.
I'd like to say, that I really appreciate you setting a precedent for future guests on the show to just come in being the biggest haters ever, unconstrained.
I mean, if you bring his name up, I'm gonna have to like.
No, I'm being genuine. I'm not being a Yoshi P right now. I'm being super genuine.
Thank fucking God, because I can tell if someone's disingenuous. And
if Square Enix ever wanted us to plug their product, it's never happening now.
I was literally gonna say, like, Square was like, "Oh, the Burnout boys, we gotta get them on the press tour. We gotta like invite them to the events," and they're hearing this horrified, like, "No."
Well, I'll be real. Yoshi P is the only thing standing in our way, Square Enix. Like, everything else, I don't mind. I can look away. But with Yoshi P, I cannot look away because you keep shoving him into my face. That's the problem. And that's why I'm so tired of him, too.
I know you're looking for obscure podcasters to play Kingdom Hearts 4 early. Just know. I'm still,
ruining everything for you.
I'm still willing. So when
Jake
you look
is taking
for,
your dreams and breaking them over his knees.
When you look for those podcasters with episode views less than 500 and you're like, oh, I don't know. Those other guys, they hate Nomura. They hate Kingdom Hearts. Just know I'm still in your corner.
Hey, I don't hate Nomura. I think he's a fantastic designer. I think his writing is kind of it's mid to
just
interesting.
Know I don't think that, and
okay.
I don't agree with that. And invite me to Disney World so I can hang out with Sora.
Well, I mean, I did write an entire piece defending his character design choices. Where I was like, all of you are wrong. His fashion rips, or whatever the kids say. But yeah, going back to 16, not to fucking go back there. I'm dragging Jake back, kicking and screaming. Cullen, I do agree with you with the PC release. And there still isn't a release date for it, is there?
It's this year, TM.
That's embarrassing.
That game's been out for like almost a year.
Yeah. I mean, I would not be surprised if that PC port is just sitting on a shelf somewhere. And they are trying to figure out how to actually like publish a game to Steam successfully.
I hope it's not an Epic exclusive, because usually they're Epic exclusives before they come to Steam, because it's investment money.
That reminds me how for the like one time ever that they announced a PC game and don't just shadow drop it was the fucking Kingdom Hearts game that got like a couple the Kingdom Hearts collection that had a couple weeks ahead of time, and that went viral. Square, learn something from this, please. Stop shadow dropping games on Steam. It's such a bad idea. Square Enix, hire all of us as consultants and pay us like $100,000 a year each.
I'm not interested.
All right, pay me $200,000 a year. I'll take Jake's.
It's really interesting how in this sort of roller coaster of a conversation that we're having, we've sort of actually like identified several like potential reasons for why Square Enix has lost a lot of money and why they're not doing well financially. It's the over-reliance on their existing personalities. It's the lack of like pushing their mid-budget titles and not really advertising those and not nurturing new IPs. It's their flagship IPs not selling well. It could also potentially be them, dipping into certain trends that don't pan out.
And you know what? It only took 4 people sitting like in a VC to figure this out within an hour. Isn't that interesting?
$100,000 a year and we can fix your company.
Although it's also, I wonder what their market research team is doing regarding this.
Putting out fires.
More than likely, yeah. I can't really speak to a lot of it because I was like writing a piece about this, and I don't know if I should be saying any of the stuff that I learned on the podcast.
Right.
Yeah. I'll just say that there's a lot of money, from what I understand or understood, going to places it shouldn't be going. And that's not like black market. It's just like they're investing in the wrong brand collabs, influencer like collabs, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Again,
yeah.
Chasing after trends or going down certain fads that aren't the slam dunk they think it is.
Yeah, they're not relevant enough. They think, oh, we get it. We get what the community likes right now. We get what everyone's into right now, but you don't actually. And it's like painfully obvious.
I think what's another thing is that people who are like, no, Square's going to pull it back with Dawn Trail, is that there are a lot of people that are like Cullen, actually, where like, they're like, my story ended in Endwalker. I don't see a reason to continue. Cullen, now that Dawn Trail is like hyping up to like come out in like a couple of like months or whatever, I've seen more and more people say, I don't think I'm going to play again because my story's over, or I'm going to Fantasia my character to try to make them a new character because it feels weird playing my current character. I think that's actually a really, really big problem that they've created with this.
People were saying like, Cullen, you're in a small camp there. No one's camping with you. No one's having s'mores with you. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. It's too crowded. We don't have marshmallows anymore. You're not allowed to have any.
It's becoming a very common sentiment that I'm seeing, that people are actually just sort of like, well, that and because the story is really dropped off too. Again, they're doing this whole like CIA shit. For those of you that don't know about the Dawn Trail story, is you've defeated the big bad, which was depression or whatever, and Endwalker.
No,
No, it doesn't.
I like it. I like defeating the concept of depression and nihilism.
It's the fucking Bird of Hermes fucking.
Yeah, I like that. Cool.
Oh my god,
You like that part? Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's so. Well, I have issues with that, and it's just Japanese society things though. It's purely from like a cultural standpoint that I just have qualms with that. But anyways, you defeat the big bad, and they're like, okay, we're going on a vacation. One, there's a problem with them labeling it as a vacation from like. GC, I'll let you talk about that after this because you probably have like thoughts about it. What you're actually doing is there's a character coming from this continent that is called the New World. That's literally what they call it. That asks you to help her basically become the leader of her country by going there and fighting in a tournament to then instill her as the major political power.
Isn't that legitimately what we did with Azela?
Yes.
Cool.
So you're going to a foreign country. It's being billed as a vacation to basically instill a leader of your choosing.
Yeah. We have to beat the natives at their own cultural festival.
Yes.
That's how we do it.
See, this is why I prefer when 14's just like, yeah, fucking go kill depression. It's a big creature in space. Because at least they're not doing that.
Yeah, but they also had an entire section in a dungeon where they were like, this country that, had wrested itself free of colonialism and occupation was just too sad after they did it and they all wanted to die. Like, that is some of the biggest propaganda shit I've ever fucking seen in a game.
That's true. Shit.
I don't even remember that.
GC, what are your thoughts?
I think I love Cool Vacation Simulator. It's one of my favorite things. It reminds me of home a little bit, to be honest. But I think it's kind of not great that that's essentially what you're doing. If that's the premise, then what you're essentially doing is you're staging a coup.
Yeah.
Again. They just did it again.
Yeah.
I also feel like if the plot is like I'm going to vacation to the new world, it sort of also has like modern connotations of like going on vacation to a place where the people that live there are probably not treated well, but the place also happens to be high in tourism. And so it's literally like profiting off of the suffering of its people when you go visit.
Just like in real life.
Well, see, you're the first people to set foot on the New World other than the indigenous people that live there.
Well, I mean, someone's got to show up to the grand opening of the resort, I suppose.
Sorry.
I'm
just thinking of like the warrior like cutting this ribbon and everyone's like, boo, boo, go home.
Go home. What the fuck?
No, these people are written by Yoshi P. So they're like, yay, colonize us, please. We love it.
God, please colonize.
Not written by, but you know what I mean.
I just pictured him cutting the ribbon and somebody in the crowd going, "Oh, brother, this guy stinks!"
Yes.
That's my favorite fucking meme right now.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Kazuma fucking listening to memes from 2005. Oh, God, Skippy, I don't know if you youngins have heard of this newfangled Facebook. They really got a bunch of humdingers on here. That's SpongeBob.
Yeah,
what a cad.
I'm old. I'm old, yet I could outplank you.
Yeah, whatever.
But yeah, regarding like, I think sales projections, we're like talking about Square for like 30 minutes. I'm so sorry, GC.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, audience.
Yeah, mostly the audience. And to Jake too, and very sorry to Jake. But I wonder what sales numbers will look like for Dawn Trail. Because now they are legitimately like competing with World of Warcraft again, which has another expansion coming out this year. And they brought back like one of the lead people from WoW
they could.
to do these next 3 expansions. So it's kind of, I don't know, because there's always been a divide between the audience, and I'd like to know how many copies Endwalker is actually going to sell, and how those subscription numbers are either going to like continue upward, or it's going to be pretty high for the first month and like go back down. Because I always read their financial reports for work, so you know.
Like, I love watching things succeed, no matter if I like them or not. But this is the one thing I would love to, like, just watch it die slowly.
Oh my god.
That will give me ultimate satisfaction, and also it would make room for something new.
It would be really funny if after like 16 and this, Yoshi P is like, hello, I will be taking a new position as the coffee guy at Square Enix.
Holy shit. I think because of the way they talk about their community, like their community will always support them. They always do this thing with marketing materials where they're like, this is the best community ever. Our community is they literally use the word wholesome. Our community is the most wholesome community. Our community is the best community.
XIV community is not. It's wholesome.
I mean, to be fair, you can't really be like, our community are a bunch of gremlin bastards.
Yeah, but wholesome is a very strong word. Like
our community wants to lick Estinian sweat.
Yeah.
Honestly, they should say that.
Exactly.
Yes.
Lean into that more.
We have the biggest community of armpit fetishists this side of planet Earth.
Like, you don't understand how many copies and subscriptions Estinian planking on his cock actually sold.
I think I saw fan art of Estinian yesterday with his armpits out.
Oh my god. I don't need to think about Estinian's armpits.
Well, that's what XIV wants you to do.
Anyways, what's our next point of news? Wasn't it about AI or something with Naughty Dog?
Oh god.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love this. This is a short
Okay, GC,
one.
lead this conversation.
Neil Druckmann says, and I'm reading directly off of Kotaku's summary here. Neil Druckmann says AI can be used to create nuanced dialogues and characters.
Oh yeah, he definitely did say that, I think.
He would say that.
I'm not a Druckmann stan at all, but apparently the could redefine mainstream perceptions of gaming was just something he did not say, and Sony just said he said that?
Oh, that's actually pretty rude.
Yeah, not sure. Like, I'm willing to maybe take that with a grain of salt because it's Neil Druckmann, but like, that's just weird. That's just weird. What a situation.
Do you think instead of actually interviewing Neil Druckmann, they had an AI and they asked the AI to pretend to be Neil Druckmann and to like answer questions as though it was Neil Druckmann?
Someone should program an AI for that.
They had to filter out all the answers where he's like, I really hate Palestinians.
Oh my god.
No, you have to. No, it's an AI, so you have to ask the question specifically. So you have to be like, all right, pretend you're Neil Druckmann, but without all the hate. No. The AI is going crazy. No.
They have to take the AI like out back and shoot it.
Yeah, we have to kill it, shoot it.
All right, pretend you are Neil Druckmann and don't. We have to kill another one.
God.
We never get to the next step like this.
I think this is our most insane episode yet.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Anyways, Neil Druckmann is a Zionist. We don't really care what he has to say. It's just interesting seeing him say that. And then like a couple of years ago, there was somebody that was like a senior employee within Naughty Dog that quit and wrote a whole tweet thread about how they were crunching their team to death. So much so that senior, I think, cinematic artists were quitting and shit. And they had to replace them with like film people, and that's why the game was taking forever to make because nobody had any experience with their tools, and nobody wants to work for Naughty Dog.
Nobody was popping with them.
I got an idea for an episode title. Just call it Bridge Burning.
Oh my god, okay.
Burning bridges, baby.
Well, we're just commenting on things that are already out there, right?
Unfortunately, all the things out there are blatantly like fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're never getting a sponsorship after this. Anyways, make sure to recommend this podcast to your friends so we get a lot of views and a lot of followers, and we're so big that we can't be ignored.
Eventually, they'll have to give them a sponsorship.
Maybe. You know what? Maybe they'll give us a copy of Kingdom Hearts 4 used from GameStop.
Just don't waste copies on the rest of them. Just send us one copy to burnoutculturepodcast@gmail.com. Just reply, Cullen, this is for you, baby boy. Just talk about it in the podcast, and we won't ask you to do anything else. And also send it to me a month before launch and not on launch. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for listening, everybody. Just
the
kidding.
end.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's all we really had in terms of news. I don't think a lot really happened this week in games. Like, there weren't an extreme amount of layoffs.
Like, if you're like, imagine, if you will, you're in California and forests have been on fire for weeks. At some point, you're just like, it's a bit hot today.
I am in California.
Aside from always like layoffs and AI, I did share this nice news of Hidetaka Miyazaki saying that he would love to make another
Yes, new
Armored
Core.
Yeah.
He said, and I quote, "I believe Armored Core was a success. On the other hand, not everything was perfect, and there's still room for improvement. So I have no intention of stopping here," which is awesome.
Only thing you need to fix in my book is stop restricting Kota Hoshino. Let him make a weird ass soundtrack.
Let him do it. Give us more Armored Core. I need something that isn't. I just need something that isn't Elden Ring or Dark Souls. I just want another Armored Core game. I want them to go crazy because I am tired of this. Okay, this is gonna be me being a hater for a second.
On this episode? No.
Yeah, I know. When that new Elden Ring trailer came out and Marika stuck her hand inside of a vagina and then pulled out the metaphorical strings of divinity and godhood, I was like, okay, I'm bored. Give me the mechs back. I'm really, really tired of this whole fascination Miyazaki has with like womanhood and femininity and like childbirth and shit these things being intertwined. Like being so intrinsic to his work that I'm just like, I don't want to see it. Get the feet out of here. Get the vaginas out of here. Get the fucking caretaker shit out of here. I'm done. I'm tired of it. Get it out.
Put armor on the feet. Put armor on the vaginas. Put armor on everything. And then let's fucking go. Like,
let's fight.
I agree. I'm very tired of that too. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm like a big Dark Souls fan. And, obviously only Dark Souls 1. And I like the whole theme of like, yes, like magic is something feminine, right? Like to attribute certain things to that, and like female characters and the women in Dark Souls, they're very like versatile and really interesting and good, I think. But I absolutely agree with you that it keeps going more into the direction of like, you start with the fire keepers, women bearing life. I get it. We don't have to pull like stuff out of vaginas. It's cool. Like, we get it. We all know how the babies are made. I don't think we need that here.
It's just become such a thing, like with like Bloodborne, like being really overt in Bloodborne. And now it's again like this cosmic childbirth shit in Elden Ring. I'm tired of it. Do something new. Stop showing me the same pair of feet every video game. I'm sick of it.
I got nothing to add. I didn't watch the trailer. June's going to be the month of SMT5. I'm not even looking at Blood, Souls, Ringborn, whatever.
One day I'll go back to Elden Ring and I'll pick an ending.
Are you playing on PC?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to restart on PC.
We should all play together. I look like the most pathetic Jon Snow XP in the entire game. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Diallo's Oslo.
Jon Snow?
No, oh my god.
Jon Snow.
Yeah, who? Oh my god. No, I need to know what Kit Harington, like what grip he had on Japanese developers for like the past like 5+ years. I need to know what it was about that man specifically. But no, my character looks like Diallo, so he's like one half of the Blowjob Brothers. So you won't know until you get there. But yeah, I like to run around with my little whips and hit people with bleed damage. I'll be useless in the final fight, but if you want to run through Elden Ring together, we should all do that.
Perhaps.
Cool. Yeah.
I would love to.
I gotta buy it on PC.
You don't. I own it.
But if you own it and want to play with me, how'd that work?
The new Steam family thing doesn't really check if you're online or not.
Really?
Uh-huh.
What?
Now that's some good news.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've
Jake and I
learned that-
tested this with another game. Yeah.
That's true. You're right.
Yeah, we did test it
Fair
with another game. We'll probably test it with Elden Ring, but if it's like that, then we're not going to follow up and say if it did or didn't work, just in case.
We would want to encourage that kind of behavior.
Yeah, you nasty freaks. Go it. Oh my god, Cullen, no!
I'm kidding. Still give me Kingdom Hearts 4. I'm kidding. All jokes.
You're starting to choke on it, Cullen.
Sorry. I didn't know it was that obvious.
Other than that, how was MILF Manor this week?
Dog shit?
What?
I don't know.
Did you not like the striptease?
Wait, that was the first episode.
Oh, fuck. Sorry.
No, that was the second episode.
Yeah, I only watched the first two so far.
No, there's like a bunch of problems and not like problems and like, oh, there's problematic content in MILF Manor of all things.
Whatever. Tell me about them.
Like, it's like the show desperately like actually does need some kind of producer intervention, because you could really tell it doesn't have any, because like in episode 3 they set up that one of, or maybe they did this at the end of 2, I don't even know what episode we're on. Basically at the end of one episode they set up that one of the MILFs actually got a boyfriend between signing up for the show and going into the manor.
Oh
and
my
it's like
god.
it's a big thing, and it's like, oh my god, whoa.
Which one?
And she tells are you asking me to remember their names?
Tell me what she looks like, her hair or whatever.
Old,
Yeah.
big boobs,
Yeah, that's all of them.
has hair.
God damn it.
But yeah, she tells another one with hair in confidence, is like, hey, so the reason why I haven't been able to make a connection is because I've got a boyfriend, and I really hope that you like I'm talking to you like this is a secret. I don't want others to know about this, but I don't know how to process it. And
That's
then
hilarious.
literally in the next scene, she goes out and talks to like one person who then tells all of the MILFs, and then they go like swarm her and say like, you need to leave. and they actually make her leave.
No!
And the wildest thing is that following this, the next game show bit, because they do like little challenges or whatnot.
Yeah.
The next one of those is a like kind of tug of war thing where you're in a baby pool of like pudding or something. And
What?
on both sides, you need to grab a flag. You're tied to a rope, and it's just like, get to the flag before the other person is, or your secrets will be revealed. And I'm like, what? This would have been so much more compelling television if you did not kick out the one person with a secret worth a damn.
It's really odd. Yeah, I feel like see, MILF Manor's kind of like someone that pulled out the sword Excalibur that wasn't meant to pull it out, because I feel like that's a lot of power, and with a lot of power comes a lot of responsibility. We learned
The sword
this.
was actually sealing Pandora's box.
Exactly.
Oops.
Like you wield
The
something.
MILFs are
and,
out.
like no one has taught them how to wield this power. They need direction, and they need someone. They need a good. I don't know what the equivalent is in English, but in German,
You need a host.
Yeah. You need a host, and you need someone that off screen obviously writes the story of it, right? Like you can't just have everyone act out. Like we need to establish some characters here.
And like, yeah, it is reality TV, but there needs to be a bit more guidance of what's going on. Worst case scenario, there is that, but all of the showrunners are incompetent, which, hey, possible.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling.
But, I'll be there watching the whole season. I showed my girlfriend.
How'd you like it?
She thinks it's fun. The great thing about it is that even though it's kind of agonizing to watch for most people, not me, I'm actually into media that's like torturous.
Me too.
Is that and you don't like Final Fantasy 16?
Yeah.
Anyway,
They're different kinds of pain.
True. She likes that it is only 8 episodes, not like Love Island, which lasts like a fucking like 60 episodes or some shit. It's got shonen pacing.
I agree.
So it's very like low stakes for us to just put an episode on, watch it, and be like, okay, cool, and then that's it, because we know it'll wrap up soon.
MILF Manor is a casual watch for everyone. So like everyone, if you don't know what to watch, if you're bored, but if you also don't have too much time to pay attention, put on some MILF Manor.
It's the Cowboy Bebop of reality TV.
Yeah, your family will like it too. Like you will have something to talk about, but at the dinner table for sure.
I remember when Spike Spiegel said, I love biting butts. Faye, can I bite your butt?
Oh yeah, God.
I can just hear GC zoning out right now.
Remember when his dad showed up in one episode and he ran so fucking fast to him? He was like, Dad!
Well, that's the thing. The dads are like here to stay.
They're so hot though.
I think the guy from England, his dad is like,
okay, I will give you that. He's definitely well built. See, I'm all
The
team Italian dad. Yeah, the Italian guy. He's got this Italian riz. I brought this up in my group watch, and they were like, "Oh, what do you mean?" And I'm like, "What the fuck?" I have literally never, like, as someone who's, I guess you could classify as like bi-curious if you want to be generous, and who has never like kissed a man directly, even I know that Italian men have a natural riz to them. Like, I'm not wrong, right? Like,
no, absolutely. We watched it by someone on YouTube. Film Cooper is his name. He was like making a commentary video about the episode, and he was like, "The Italian dad, he knows a guy. If you need anything, he knows a guy." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's the exact type of person he is. He knows a guy. He's got everything you need. He takes care of everything. He has his Italian riz.
He runs a pizza place in New Jersey."
Like, what about the guy that sells yachts? What about that guy?
Fuck
the
him,
yacht?
whatever. Like, you need to know how much fucking riz this guy has when, because he was talking to the woman when all of the women swarmed on her for having a boyfriend, and he was immediately like very courteous and nice about the whole thing.
Wow.
Later on, he won the challenge of being in the mud pit, and then so the whole thing was like, okay, so now you get to go on a date with your the MILF of your choice. And the other two just like who won just kind of went out on a little like date that was pre-selected for them. What he did was like, hey, so I had an idea. I'm gonna teach you how to make an authentic pizza and we can cook together. I started swooning and it wasn't even me. I was like, oh my God. Oh, you are literally like, you are so powerful.
So what you're saying is your like perfect man is like an Italian American Clive Rossfield that will make a pizza with you on your first date.
Yes. I remember I was talking to my girlfriend once and I was like, I need to look into my history, like, or my heritage, because I really hope I'm Italian, and I am not, unfortunately. I'm Scottish, which like not the lowest on like the heritage Riz scale.
Yeah.
But wait, let's not get into that because that could
no, let's get into that. What's
no.
Okay.
Anyways, so we're gonna segue into this is a perfect segue into talking about things we engaged in this week, and we did talk about MILF Manor. So what were you guys up to this week?
I was gonna say, let's at least list the top 5 most like rizzed out like heritages.
Anyways, GC, what have you been up to this week?
I have been playing a lot of V Rising.
Ooh, tell us about that.
A lot of V Rising is an action RPG survival crafting game that I think is very, very good. It plays like Diablo. It you build a base, and it's very much like if you ever played like Ark Survival Evolved, if you've ever played Rust, a lot of the building is like that, except the game is played from like a top-down camera.
Mm-hmm. So when you're actually building, you actually have like proper angles and viewing space of like what you're building. Mm-hmm. And it's everything snaps. Everything snaps really well. Everything works really well. The gameplay loop is super satisfying. You build up your castle until you can't build up anymore. You go out, you fight bosses, you fight actual bosses with movesets against your own movesets that change depending on what weapon you have, on what spells you have equipped. You unlock new crafting machines and new decorations for your castle. So you start building that up again, and then you unlock new spells by beating bosses. And it's a ton of fun. My only complaints with V Rising are that the game is also partly, because it's a survival crafting game, it also has a PvP aspect to it. And I think, just like with almost every other survival crafting game that I've played, the PvP aspects of the survival crafting genre actively get in the way of some of that genre's best ideas. So there's a lot of little annoyances in V Rising that I hate. For instance, in order to have your machines that you build actually operate, you have to keep your castle heart fed.
Oh, I hate that.
Which means it uses a resource to like stay active, and that's really annoying to me. Like, it's not the most annoying thing to maintain, but it's there because of the PvP aspects, because when the heart isn't powered, it's easier to break into your castle. And that's the idea. There's like a servant system, and you can dominate servants and you can send them out into the world, but it takes like 24 hours for them to come back. And also, like, actually recruiting servants is sort of like a pain in the butt. There's a timer on like waiting for the servant to come out of their coffin fully converted. And that's there in order to create some amount of like balancing against other players so that some players that aren't playing don't necessarily get left behind by the other players on the server who are playing nonstop. So there's little things like that, little things like having to wait for timers to finish, having to keep certain resources up that I feel get in the way of what is honestly one of the best ARPG creative experiences that I've ever played in a long time.
You are so right. You just opened my eyes to something. Because, like, my first thought was, like, with V Rising, I was like, yeah, I love that game. It's so much fun. Playing it with friends has been so cool. Big fan. The only thing was that, yeah, with, like, a lot of the resource management, it was a bit annoying. I was always like, why? And now that you brought up the PvP aspect, which I actually didn't know about, that makes so much sense. Because my biggest gripe was that you have to pick up all the ingredients from the chests you have and have them in your inventory in order to craft or build something, which is so annoying, but makes perfect sense when it comes to PvP, or otherwise you could just spam structures. Like, you're so right. The PvP aspect is what stands like in the way of this game. That's so, wow, you're so smart, dude. I love that. I agree.
But like, yeah, and it sucks. It sucks especially because I feel like V Rising is so close to just being a really good co-op ARPG. And it could just be that. Like seriously, it has so many things going for it, and so many quality of life features, and so many like interesting mechanics at play with the way skills progress and the way you build your weapons and stuff, then it gets really annoying to have to like repair those weapons and repair that armor regularly, because if there wasn't a durability system on your gear, then you could just constantly there wouldn't be like a moment of weakness for other players to take advantage of in PvP. Like it all just comes back to that, really, like them trying to balance the game out for competitive play. And it doesn't need to be there, because the game is sort of like, the more you play V Rising, the more obvious it is that the game is sort of built around cooperation, despite the fact that the premise is that you're all vampires vying for power. Like, bosses are really hard to fight on your own. You very clearly need friends to do really well against them. Otherwise, you're going to be throwing yourself at a boss like 3 to 4 times to beat it. Whereas with friends, it doesn't like completely trivialize it, but it makes it way easier. And so the game like balances its bosses around multiplayer. So again, it just feels really weird that there's all these like, all the annoying things that I find about V Rising are all related to the PvP elements. Otherwise, it's a really great game. I'm probably going to beat it at some point. I just beat Act 3 of 4 or 5. And I'm kind of breezing through Act 4 now.
Okay, but did you kick Simon Belmont's ass?
I didn't kick Simon Belmont's ass. He is still a skull level to me, which means my gear level is still too low to even stand a chance. And I'm gear level 70 right now.
Oh my God.
Please tell me that it plays Vampire Killer when you see him.
Huh?
Does it play Vampire Killer when you see him?
No, it plays one of V Rising's like musical tracks, unfortunately.
Somebody make a mod. Make Vampire Killer play.
Yeah, do that, actually. There are mods for V Rising. Somebody could totally do that.
You could just go to youtube.com or whatever and play it while you fight him.
I could do that.
You're so real for that.
Thank you.
Let's stop demanding modders to do every little thing. Fucking do it yourself.
I think we ask a lot for free of modders. Like, okay, at this point, big shout out to every modder ever that hasn't done any disgusting mods. Yeah, like you're so fucking real for what you do. I've seen mods for video games where I'm like, oh my God, you should have been paid a full year's salary for this, but you give it out for free. And that's crazy. And because of you, we still play certain games. Thank you so much. Give it up for the modders. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
This Memorial Day, we're not honoring our troops. We're honoring the modders.
Yeah, Memorial Day's for modders this year.
I'm saluting.
Me too, actually. I'm saluting as well.
Me as well. GC. Come on.
See? Do you see?
Yeah, I'm saluting.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, V Rising is a pretty interesting game. I also played it on launch. I did like a sponsored stream for them, where I dressed up like a vampire. That was like a couple of years ago.
I love that.
Yeah. I think it's a pretty cool game. We're on a server together, but I like made my little like wooden room and then I logged out and never came back. It's the lack of convenience in the game, I think, that keeps me away, which is weird because I'm always the person that's like, I hate convenience in video games. Make shit inconvenient, but I'm like, I don't want to do this. What I don't like about V Rising's building aspects is that like you're really limited in the beginning of the game and you can just make like a really terrible castle layout as a result. I don't want to rebuild stuff. I want to make it cute immediately. Let me make it cute immediately, but I do think the ARPG combat in that game is really good. I think it's super fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been playing anything else, GC? Engaging with anything else?
I keep playing Balatro.
What happened, GC?
Balatro's been good to me. Not really. Balatro, I've warmed up a little bit to Balatro because like I've started to gain ideas on how to strategize, but I'm still sort of in the same spot where I feel like I'm strategizing against pure randomization.
Mm-hmm.
And that still feels bad because
that's not very rewarding, is it?
No, because ultimately like I can lose to that randomization completely. Like what we talked about last episode, it's like I can just lose to the randomization completely. Like even knowing to like buy the right Arcana cards, knowing when to buy Planet cards, knowing which Jokers to take early, which ones to not, knowing that I need a variety of Jokers in order to win, knowing that the deck that I pick drastically changes the strategy I should employ. Like even knowing all of these things, ultimately the randomization can still lock you out of winning haphazardly, and that feels bad, and that fundamentally ruins my fun with that game. But I'm probably going to keep using it as like the game I play when I need like 5 minutes to kill time or something, because it's very good for that. It's very good for just pushing buttons for 15 minutes.
Cool. That sounds exciting.
It's not, but I appreciate it.
We gotta get you out of there.
Without y'all, I would have never heard about this game, and only once this week did I actually see this game mentioned. It was like a post where someone was just like showing a stack of cards and said, y'all, they released Balatro IRL, and I was like, nice. It was just cards. So yeah, that's that to me. I'm like, okay, it's a card game.
And that's me. That's been me. I haven't really done anything else with my week. I put out a video.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think it was okay, and I finished recording lines for the next one, so I'm probably gonna start editing that this week, and that's gonna be my week, and that was my week, and I'm passing it off to Cullen.
So I did a lot of things this week, but I think it'd be a lot more interesting to spend my time instead doing a new little guest segment. And GC do a little like, you can keep this in or not, I don't give a fuck, as long as there's music playing. A new guest segment called, and this is not also like, you can keep this in as well, this isn't cutting Kazuma off. You can talk about your week after this, don't worry about it. New guest segment called, why'd you say that? I have with me here 4 things that Jake has said, and I'm going to quote them back to you and ask, why'd you say that?
Oh my god, yes.
All right. Remember, audience, these are all actual quotes. Jake has said all of these in some form or fashion.
I trust you.
All right, first one. Putting aside my love for Mario, I'd totally eat a Yoshi, especially in egg form. Yoshi omelet? Yum. Why'd you say that? Why would you eat a Yoshi?
So, first of all, I'd like to say Yoshi probably has a very good diet. Apples, cookies, Shy Guys, all very good. Free range. Those eggs are free range. Organic. And I think a healthy lifestyle is what we should all move forward to, in order to also just, make the living conditions on this planet for humans and animals better.
Now,
Sensible.
but you must admit, though, the abuse that typically happens to the Yoshi to get the function is a bit much. Some would say your position is a bit hypocritical. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I mean, I don't know how you prepare the Yoshi eggs in your facilities, but on our farm here in Germany, it's all free range, very humane. We don't.
It's quite ethical. I've actually been to one. Yeah.
Oh,
We
really?
don't force feed them. We do. I mean, we pet them every day. We got kids coming over, for birthdays. They love that. The Yoshis, they love it. We only had 2 incidents of them getting eaten.
The children, not the Yoshis, by the way.
Well,
Yeah,
but I mean, to be fair, if the kids get eaten, that's another egg, other omelet.
And here's exactly that. And now consider this. You have less mouths to feed also.
That is true. That is true. Keeps the population down.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, before we move on, outside of omelet, what are other ways in which you would eat a Yoshi?
Well,
Is deep fried any good? Have you tried that?
Deep fried, I have not, since I said I'm very much for the healthy approach. I wanna keep it as healthy and clean as possible.
What about grilled?
I am lately trying out the raw Yoshi meat diet.
Oh, do you eat it like while it's alive?
Oh no, I wouldn't do that. No, I don't. Of course, I would never want anyone or anything to suffer, for my pleasure. No, it's dead.
Okay, fair enough. I'm not going to question you too much. You're the expert. All right, next one. I guess tangentially related. I start my morning by stealing eggs from a barn and scalp them to kids at a bus. Scalp. This is how I make my living. Why'd you say that? How much do you charge the kids?
Okay. I see you have many questions. First spot, exercise. You'll be getting plenty of cardio, dodging pitchforks, angry farmers. Who needs a gym membership, right? Second point, sustainability. It's a green job. You are recycling eggs that might otherwise go to promoting local agriculture in a way, right? You don't want that. And educational value. I'm teaching the kids the importance of breakfast and economics.
Has anyone told you you'd make a great politician?
Oh, thank you so much. No one has ever.
He was at one point considering studying to be a lawyer. So.
I'm not done. Community building. I'm the talk of the town. Think about it. And
okay,
I'm also ensuring.
But how much do you scalp the price? Like when you're selling the eggs?
Yes.
To the children.
Yes.
How much of an upcharge are you doing?
I mean, there's no upcharge. I usually take whatever they have on them.
Oh, you mug the kids?
No, I give them eggs. It's basically I'm selling them. It's legal.
It's an exchange.
It's an exchange. It's legal.
Cool.
Thank you.
These are all very German centric, it turns out. Like this next one, which I thought was kind of weird. This was actually a DM you sent me. I plan to trap Kazuma in a German cave next time we meet. I am so serious. Why'd you say that?
Well, that's very personal.
Yeah. I mean, fair enough.
I mean,
I call him my baby bear for a reason.
Yeah.
You know what?
Ever since what happened at the last cave, I'm sorry.
Oh, you can make a lot of connections out of cave.
I'm so sorry. It's really hard to talk about this.
Oh yeah, no. If it's TMI, we can move on.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. And lastly, I think everyone who uses LinkedIn should get into a car accident. Nothing serious to endanger them, but definitely something bad enough to total a car. Why did you say that?
First of all, I'd like to formally say that I still stand by that.
Yeah, fair.
I mean, most people do. It's a very common sentiment, but
It's not a good website.
It isn't. And it's nothing against the people themselves, obviously.
They can't help being cringe.
Exactly. It has. It's everything to do. It's everything to do with their layout. I mean, how are you supposed to have respect for anyone being on this website with a layout like that? It's very like, oh, I'm advertising myself on Facebook. Like, something exciting needs to happen in your life, and I think a car accident is exactly something that a potential employer might, it might catch their attention, might take a look at you, be like, oh, the guy's tough, like he survived a major car accident, like, oh, he's even financially stable, he got out of it no problem, he's already back to work, he's not taking any time off. We love that in America, despite the 2 broken legs and losing his daughter. And
Oh my god.
it's just, I mean, it shows like, this whole like from rags
Initiative.
to riches. Yeah. I just
I guess
it'd be a good opportunity for most people there, because if it's staying the way it is now, they're not getting anywhere on LinkedIn. Let's be honest. Am I right, folks?
Oh,
Am I right?
Oh yeah.
Am
No,
I
you're
right, folks?
Absolutely. I guess last question on this one. What is your ideal car accident?
Okay, I need to tell you that Jake has actually been hit by a bus before.
Well, I did not say bus accident.
Well, I wasn't in a
Can the
car.
audience please quiet down during the debate?
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, this is
I know.
a
I just remember we were like texting. And he didn't text me for like a couple of hours, and he was like, "I got hit by a fucking bus," and I was like, "What?"
Well, I wasn't in a car. I was walking. The ideal car accident. In fact, I've been in the ideal car accident. Would you like to hear about it?
If you can keep it under 30 seconds so your opponent has time to follow up.
Standing in a McDonald's parking lot, car in front of me starts, wants to leave, the guy goes backwards and just hits my car. What the fuck? I'm parking and I make money because I'm insured. Thank you very much.
That is ideal. All right. Senator Giancarlo Vasquez, how do you respond to the same question?
What's my ideal car accident?
Correct. You have 10 seconds.
Is this a bad time to tell you that I've been in a head-on collision?
Oh my god, are you okay?
It tore my car, the front of my car.
And 10 seconds.
My ideal car accident is one I don't get into.
That's fair.
Ooh, the audience is not liking that, Senator. I don't think you know how to debate.
Oh, take your ethos and shove it up your ass.
All right.
I
Negative
suppose
10
that would
points.
crown me the debate lord. Am I right?
You are, in fact, the debate lord.
Thank you so much. Oh my god.
Yes,
thank you.
Wait, I was having a debate with Jake.
Yeah, you didn't say anything for like the entire time. You were on your phone.
Yeah, it was so strange. Very disrespectful towards this
audience
wonderful
noticed.
audience. This wonderful audience. That
Now,
took
GC
time.
added some like booing or some applauding. This audience.
You're having a lot of fun for someone who's not editing the podcast.
Yes, that is why I'm having a lot of fun. Anyway, thank you so much, Jake. You win the debate. You are now the president of the world.
Thank you.
And that has been... Why'd you say that? Anyway, Kazuma, what have you been up to this week?
I talked about Star Wars. Yeah, I talked about... Sorry. I was fucking nuts.
That's so good.
I talked about Star Wars night last week, right?
No.
Oh my god. Okay, so a friend of mine got invited to the Star Wars After Dark thing. Like they have like this whole thing where they basically shut down the park, and if you buy a ticket, you can have themed food and their like themed celebrations. It was to celebrate, May the 4th and everything. So I went and I got to experience that. And I would say if you have a chance to do Disney After Dark and you actually want to ride the rides, go do it, because the park is relatively empty because everyone is poor. And we don't really have the money to go and do things. So the park was super, super empty. There were a lot of cosplayers walking around, a lot of Anakin and Padme couples, which makes me wonder if we watched the same movie. I saw Queen Amidala. Darth Vader literally was like... Okay, so in Tomorrowland, there is a stage, and you're going to see this, Cullen, when you go there. Oh. And the stage lifts up, and there is another stage underneath it, and Darth Vader was there, just T-posing menacingly. I took a picture with him, and I sent it to Jake, and it was like, get a load of this guy.
The picture is really good.
I had themed food. I wore my normal clothes, which made everybody think that I was a goth Anakin Skywalker.
That tracks.
Yeah, I hate sand. It's coarse. It gets everywhere. It's terrible. That was something I did. I had themed food because I'm kind of like a theme park. I like going to theme parks now that I can.
Nerd.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like eating food, and they have interesting food items at theme parks, and I just love to eat.
Shout out to food.
Yeah, food is awesome. I think GC understands what I'm talking about because GC.
Yeah, honestly, no. Food is a huge part of my life.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about, right, GC?
Yeah, you eat, right?
What, like food being a part of your life and like loving to eat?
No, I mean like theme park food.
Yes,
Yes,
theme park
no,
food
absolutely.
is good.
Yes,
I like theme park food. Sometimes I go to Epcot and I just
eat.
I eat at Epcot. It's great.
It's just man, because like they had a pork belly pretzel that was covered in sour cream, guacamole, and chicharron, and it was so fucking good.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. Gotta give it up to hang on. I have the entire list of food they had. I'm gonna name some of this stuff up and you guys are gonna tell me what you think about it, okay?
Okay.
They got the Endor Forest churro, the green lightsaber churro, the Galactic Princess Sundae, the Pandan croissant, the Abrigado Space Debris Field. That's like something you could eat. The pork belly pretzel, the mango pineapple Dole Whip with ube dusted croissant,
Ooh.
the Braca sub, the Wookiee funnel cake,
the Dagobah deviled eggs,
some Smuggler's fries, Mustafar cheese, a Mustafar cheese Monte Cristo sandwich with sides.
Ooh.
A Dagobah bite beignet.
They did have a Dagobah thing. Shit.
Yes. Splock's fritter pop. Maz Eisley spaceport cookies. For those of you that don't know, I don't know fuck shit about Star Wars. By the way, I've only seen the movies and I play SWOTOR and that's it. They have the Lamu burger, the polystarch funnel cake, the Dagobah sunset slush with glow cube.
More Dagobah?
The level 1313 loaded bowl. No fucking order 66 here, huh? Okay. The chili fruit blend and sweet grains. The Tatooine sun scorched tip yip with golden lichen grains and Yavin the 4th papaya salad. Blue milk with Gorg eggs, which was not good. The blue milk tastes thick. I can't explain how it tastes other than it tastes thick and like nothing. The Batu...
Blue milk to taste good.
According to that Jenny Nicholson video, if you went to the Star Cruiser when that was up, they had a different consistency with the blue milk, and it was actually more like milk than a thick thing.
So you can get that at the cantina, but good luck getting a reservation at the cantina.
Fair enough.
Like, good luck. The Rancor Teeth Flight, where you drink alcohol out of Rancor teeth. Blue milk with rum. Dark Nebula Salsa Verde fries. Duel of the Sliders.
Yeah, that's mine. That's the one. That's the one I'm picking.
The Dagobah Swamp Water.
A third Dagobah? Stop it.
Why?
Yeah.
Why would anyone drink something called swamp water? That sounds disgusting.
So what would you guys eat out of this?
Dagobah deviled eggs.
They don't got
sliders.
Dagobah deviled eggs.
Oh, sorry, not the Dagobah sliders, just the sliders.
The Monte Cristo. Just imagining they do an updated, it's like the Dagobah fries, the Dagobah burger, the Dagobah chicken sandwich, and everything's Dagobah themed.
And what about you, my little Sith Lord?
Yeah, I would have the swamp water.
Hold on. Kazuma, are you being gay on the podcast?
Sorry, I can't help it. I'm so sorry. At least it's with Jake and not me like lusting after 60-year-old men again.
Yeah, you know what? To be fair, you are gay on every podcast.
That's true.
Nothing wrong with wanting to fuck Tywin Lannister.
Oh my god, please don't say that out loud.
Okay.
Anyways, I was also rewatching Game of Thrones again because House of the Dragon season 2 is coming out next month. What else did I do? Oh my god, what else did I do? This is the Cullen. Sorry, GC. Can you put the Sonic underwater music as Sonic is dying over this part?
Why would you? That's Gore of my comfort character.
Yes,
I
please,
love that.
please,
Thank
God.
you.
As I'm like frantically trying to find something to talk about that I played this week.
And thousand pictures of Tywin Lannister are falling
out of my coat. He's just the most interesting character of the show. Yeah.
Would you guys like to do a bit on the podcast that does not work in any way except for us?
I thought we already did that with the planking.
Oh yeah, no, but I'd like each of us to look at the post I put in voice channel chat and then just react to it, and then we move on. We don't say what it is.
Wait.
I have a better one. I was looking up something for Game of Thrones for this thing, and it was like, yes, J.K. Rowling has confirmed Jon Snow is gay, and I was like, what?
Oh, okay, I guess the bit that does not work on the podcast is over. GC did not participate.
Oh, I participated. My mouth is just open.
Anyway, thank you all. And GC, make sure we have a theme for that entire bit.
Oh my God.
Play music.
How many fucking how many fucking pieces of music do you want me to fucking put on this podcast?
Well, every time we do a segment, put it like a little segment of music.
I just really need the Sonic music over. My hands are like really sweaty right now. That's all I did this week.
Great.
Cool.
Shit.
Oh, when we played D&D, we can talk about that after you talk about other stuff, Jake.
Yeah, that's what I do. I play D&D. Oh God. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Hello, this is my first podcast.
Ours too.
Oh, cool. So it's your wait. Oh yeah, that's your first episode. Oh my God, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks.
you.
Yeah.
Wow.
But like, what else did you do?
I played some Poke
Oh,
Rogue.
we played Poke Rogue together.
Yeah. Honestly, I love Pokemon. I love everything Pokemon fans make because it's better than what the Pokemon company makes. And Pokemon will never die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we played D&D together. My dad is DMing a campaign for us.
Yes. Very cool. Very, very cool.
Yeah. I had a character that I had intended to play for a couple more sessions, but to save our lives, I had to reveal that I was an evil cleric, and now I'm playing a different character.
Yeah,
so,
you had to leave immediately. I feel like you could have done it without you revealing.
I didn't realize clerics were so strong in 5e. I'm like in 3.5 mode where I'm like, and I cast Bless, and it does nothing.
But yeah, how old is your dad now?
My dad is in his 60s.
Where does he live?
He lives in
Dagobah.
What is his address?
I knew he was gonna go with this bit. Stop it. Leave this poor old man alone. Don't dox him. He's off the grid. And what's cool is that he's
actually, can you cut out where my dad lives?
Yeah, GC, can you add in
I was already
Antarctica?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Right.
I'm just gonna cut in a bit of when you were saying Dagobah.
Okay.
Wait,
Nice.
here, let's get it fresh.
Dagobah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, you do it too.
Dagobah.
Dagobah. Now just layer them on top of all three on top of each other.
Dagobah.
You
have to say it a bit like Nar from League of Legends. But what I was going to say is that your dad's pretty fucking old, but he's having a blast being the DM. It's so much fun playing with him. I don't know. It's really awesome to play with an old like D&D nut.
Yeah, like my dad like read like all of the Forgotten Realms like tie-in novels and like owned all of like the source books and everything. He was playing D&D when he was in high school. And my dad was a complete jock, by the way. He was like, he ran track and field, he played football, he played basketball, and instead of partying, he went and hung out with some nerds that played D&D.
Nice.
That rules.
So that's why whenever like guys are like, I got bullied for being a nerd, I'm like, just
why though?
just don't be weird. Just don't be weird towards women. Like, just don't be weird. Yeah, but that's kind of like what occupying a lot of my time is like that and work. That's all I've been doing. D&D and work and Dagobah Star Wars.
Shout out to Dagobah.
It's Dagobah? What the fuck is Dagobah, by the way?
I don't know.
It's a planet.
I have
it's
a
the
girlfriend.
swamp planet that Luke finds Yoda in.
Dagobah.
Thank you.
Can't
Thank
stop.
you. But speaking of things we've been doing this week, our homework. I didn't do my homework, by the way. I already told everybody to do my homework because for reasons that I cannot say on the podcast.
Crack.
What was your homework?
It was actually playing Front Mission, which I was really looking forward to, but then I had to do redacted.
I mean, it's okay. You'll just play Front Mission this week, along with whatever GC gives you.
Okay, cool. I can do that.
Cool. I've noticed that, like, my cruelty has desensitized people, and they're just kind of used to it, and they think it's a quirky quality. So I've got to work on that and make it a bit more surprising.
You gotta work on that by being even more cruel.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think up new ways to be cruel. It's hard. Anyway, so we do a Fire Emblem. Wait, we're not doing Fire Emblem anymore. What's our new bit?
Fate Grand Order.
Oh. All right, then, yeah, you take back control of that. I don't understand how that works.
All right,
Okay,
one
I'm
moment.
Foreigner. Wasn't that a class? Foreigner, yeah.
That is a class.
Yeah, I'm class Foreigner.
Oh
So,
my god.
Figure that one out.
Yeah, you need to explain it to Jake. Like, describe it in, like, schnitzel terms.
I can't do that. I can't. I don't know Schnitzel like that.
Damn.
Also, die ganze Fate-Triade funktioniert ungefähr so. Wir haben den Lancer, Speerfighter. Wir haben... Wait a second. You don't speak German.
No, keep going.
Yeah,
going.
no, this is content.
Yeah.
No,
This is-
No, keep going.
Okay.
Also, although, like, are you saying anything that GC needs to, like, bleep out?
No.
No,
he's
oh
not.
my god, no, I would never do that in another language. That'd be horrible.
No, but
I mean,
keep
it
going.
would be really funny.
Oh my
But-
god.
but
no,
no,
don't
no.
put ideas in my head.
Now go and go. Please explain this for us, guest.
Okay, nochmal ganz kurz. Also im Prinzip, die machen das wie so eine Triade, wo die sich ein Dreieck hinmachen, ne? Die haben das anfangs auf Fire Emblem basiert, jetzt auf Fate Grand Order. Jeder hat seine eigene Klasse, jeder hat eine Stärke und eine Schwäche und der Stärkere greift den Schwächeren an. Im Prinzip geben die sich nur gegenseitig Hausaufgaben. Das ist eine total bescheuerte Idee, die hier haben. Das erkläre ich auf Deutsch, die verstehen eh kein Wort. Für diejenigen, die das verstehen, like den Podcast und ich würde mich freuen, wenn ihr kommentiert. Danke.
All
I
right.
explained it. Thank
so-
you very much.
No, you did great.
Thank you.
Honestly, no other explanation needed.
Yeah.
So, let's see. GC, what were you assigned this week?
I was assigned the Temple of Elemental Evil,
Ooh.
also known as TOE, also known as a Troika CRPG.
Oh, Kazuma assigned you a game about toes?
Oh my god, this plays into
Oh,
the bit. I'm
no.
so sorry, GC.
I walked right into this one.
You should have just said nothing. I'm too tired and
Oh,
stupid to
we're-
have come to that on my own.
We're really in it now, boys. Anyway, yes, I played Temple of Elemental Evil. I played with some toes. I played with some toes this week.
Damn.
Damn, you really got in them.
For
And
free?
I gotta say, I did it for free. I gotta say, I haven't played a whole lot of like CRPGs lately, but one of the ones that I did play was Pathfinder Kingmaker.
Mm-hmm.
And going back to the Temple of Elemental Evil, and to be fair, I was playing a mod that was made in like 2005, something like that. Going back to Temple of Elemental Evil, even with the mod on, sort of reminded me a lot of like modern CRPGs, which was sort of like weird because I was expecting something that was going to be very dated and very old and very like esoteric. But what I got was basically a 3.5e, right?
Yeah, it's 3.5.
It's Dungeons & Dragons 3.5e, which I like, and which is also like the basis for like Pathfinder and stuff like that. Like Pathfinder is based on 3.5e of Dungeons & Dragons. And it is surprising how a game that old can feel like a modern CRPG from today.
Feels
And
like
how-
Baldur's Gate, right?
Yeah, it feels a lot like Baldur's Gate. But something that I really liked about Temple of Elemental Evil that you don't actually see in a lot of CRPGs now is that they have the user interface is remarkably readable.
Oh.
And if you've ever played a CRPG, you should know. If you've never played a CRPG, you should know that the interface is everything. Okay, because that's what you're going to be interacting with the entire fucking game. And what I mean by that is, of course, you're going to be like, well, no shit, it's the interface. But what I mean by that is you're going to be reading a lot of words off of that interface. You're going to be clicking a lot of buttons in that interface. You're going to be doing things in that interface literally the entire time. The actual like visual aspects of that game don't matter as much as you clicking, reading words, finding buttons to click on to like navigate menus. Like you're doing that the entire game. And Temple of Elemental Evil's menus are better than some modern CRPGs I've played, where they have a really nice radial menu on all your characters and you can like right click on NPCs to do actions with them with the character you have selected. And it's really easy and it's really simplified and it helps a lot in like navigating. I like how everything in Temple of Elemental Evil is recorded, is written sort of in a condensed style, as opposed to like one of my biggest gripes with Pathfinder Kingmaker is the text. There's way too much text to read in one box. And they have like, I don't know how many like responses you can do. Temple of Elemental Evil has like maybe 3 to 4 sentences per dialogue option you pick. And then your dialogue options are limited to like 3 to 6, which sounds like it's not a huge deal until you play CRPGs where every dialogue option you pick is like 3 paragraphs of information that they just dump on you. And it pulls me out and it burns me out so hard on CRPGs when they do this that I end up not getting very far in them. But even though I didn't get very far in Temple of Elemental Evil, I was really engaged with it. I wanted to talk to all the NPCs. I wanted to like do everything that I could. The only reason I didn't actually like continue playing Temple of Elemental Evil once I reached the Mode House, which I technically did. I technically reached the Mode House. The only reason I didn't continue is that I got kind of stuck wanting to level up my characters before going to the Mode House because I was getting like my face pushed in the mud by enemies, and I got
it's the frogs, man.
Yeah, and I got kind of lost on like what to do next, and I looked up a walkthrough, and the walkthrough was like horribly inaccurate, probably because it had a different origin start, which is another really cool thing about Temple of Elemental Evil is it has a different start depending on what alignment you are, which is cool. And yeah, and I just got lost, which is a mark of like an old game period, not necessarily just an old CRPG. But yeah, Temple of Elemental Evil, had a lot of fun with it. I love a good CRPG. I like 3.5e. Yeah, no notes. Good game, fun time. Very hard, very difficult.
Nice.
Awesome.
And what about you, Cullen? What was your homework?
Oh yeah, I forgot someone didn't participate today. So yeah, I'm a stinker. But GC, in an effort to try to save me from my manic depressive state, assigned me a little show called G Gundam. I almost said Gundam G.
Oh, G Gundam's so good.
So GC tasked me with specifically watching the first 3 episodes of G Gundam, and I instead watched the first 9. Nice. That sounds like I am a tryhard, but it really does not lengthen what I will say about it, because the thing about G Gundam's early episodes, at least, is that it is the same episode repeated again and again and again and again, and I don't mind, because Domon Kashu is the coolest motherfucker ever, and I love his big shining finger.
I was about G Gundam, the one with the big shining finger? Oh my god.
The biggest shining finger. G Gundam, like I am someone who, if you listen to our last episode, will realize that I am just the biggest like Gundam for politics and themes kind of guy. There are Gundam shows with the coolest of robots and the baddest of wars that I will just hate, because they are written by people who are politically are fucking vile and evil. Gundam Unicorn is bad. But this was the perfect thing I needed, along with a other show I might talk about a little bit as well, Gundam X, but that just soothes my soul. Because it is Gundam Shonen. I believe this was the first ever Gundam spinoff, and they took the concept of the cool robot to the furthest possible extent. And this is a world where the Earth is fucked. Everyone moved up to space, and they build stereotype Gundams that are piloted by stereotype people, and they must compete in a tournament. And that is it. That is your premise. And on any other show, the kind of stuff they do would be wildly offensive, but literally everybody gets it. Everybody is kind of portrayed like this. There is a big sombrero colony, and its Gundam is a Gundam with a big sombrero on it. And it's just like, that's so cool.
And what's the name of the Gundam?
I can't even say it.
What's its name?
Tequila Gundam.
The what?
Damn right it is.
Like, not to like overspeak here, but I am pretty certain that every single person, like Hispanic person, would look at that and go, "That's awesome." It's just kind of sick. Literally, the entire first like 9 episodes of this show, outside of one exception that goes over Domon's backstory, it follows a structure of Domon visits new country. New country has problem. The Gundam fighter has their own moral dilemma. Domon does not care about that. Domon wants to fight in the Gundam. He gets in the Gundam. Before he kicks your ass, he says, "You see this guy?" And they go, "Huh?" And then he shining fingers them really hard. And then he goes, "Well, it's a tie. See you later," and walks off into the sunset.
I love him.
I love him so much. It is such a breath of fresh air to get a Gundam protagonist like him. He is so fun. He is no thoughts head empty. He is just the best, and he looks the coolest. And I need to go buy a Shining Gundam real grade if it exists. I think the God Gundam. Oh, does it and the God Gundam exist, or just one?
I think both of them have a real grade.
Okay.
I'm very happy that you're enjoying G Gundam. I hope you continue to watch episodes until like the series sort of develops into something greater than what's going on because in the early episodes it's just about the tournament and Domon looking for his brother.
Yeah.
And that builds out the world and stuff like that. But like eventually it does like go, I won't say like it goes places, bro, but like it does evolve into something a little bit more.
I mean, I've seen Super Robot. Like, this is pretty par for the course.
Yeah.
So I'm not like mad that it's just taking its time. It is something that is incredibly watchable, especially in a group. It is a lot of fun. Because what my group has been doing, and GC and Kazuma tuned in for some of this, is we are calling it the ADHD Roulette Gundam Marathon, where we put Gundam Wing, Gundam X, and G Gundam on a wheel. And after every episode, we spin the wheel again and then just watch the next episode of that in particular. We're just doing it with the 90 shows. And every time we get to G Gundam, it is just a blast and we're all having a lot of fun. Gundam X, we've like most of the time we land on that, we're just all genuinely enthralled by how good that fucking show is. And I'll probably save that for another podcast episode when I have more to say about it. But like that could be a all-timer contender of a Gundam. Go watch that. It's just Mad Max Gundam. Okay, that's kind of not selling it properly. It's post-apocalyptic Gundam that still believes in humanity being the best that they could possibly be. It's great. And then whenever we land on Gundam Wing, we are so bored that we are just talking about literally anything else.
And I'm out there like, I love 11, 13.
I don't know what that means.
You don't need to. So no, 613. 613.
I don't know what that means.
You don't need to, but those that know will know.
Okay. I plan on watching all 3 of these, and I am going to watch more G Gundam because I am having so much fun with it. And I genuinely thank you from the bottom of my heart, GC, for helping to contribute to the ADHD Gundam roulette, which has lifted me out of my mecha depression.
I'm glad to help. Anything to get you away from that which must not be named.
Yeah, Gundam. Gundam. So yeah, do we want to assign some shit?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Jake just sent me something, and yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. None of you get to know except for us.
Oh, we're back on the bits that don't work on the podcast.
Yes.
Let's go!
Grah! Okay, but yeah, let's go and assign some homework to people. So
right.
So this week I'm assigning Cullen something.
Yes, and I'm assigning GC something.
Yes, and then GC is assigning me something.
Okay.
And Jake is here.
Jake, do you want to assign us something?
I mean, I do want to assign GC something.
I can think about it if I can assign y'all something so you can talk about it next podcast.
Actually, I have a fun idea.
Yeah.
How about if Jake wishes, Jake can pick one of our assignments and experience that as well, and then he can write in and say what he thought, and we'll read it on the next podcast.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
What do you think, Jake?
Interested in any of your little assignments there.
Oh,
Let's hear about them.
The
I have
Gaskin too big for his britches. Okay.
yeah, I have a very high standards when it comes to media. So
okay.
yes.
You were just talking about how much you loved MILF Manor.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, that's high standards.
Oh no, I know something that I could assign all of you guys. We could even do it together.
Yeah.
Just watch a single episode of this. I know everyone's talking about it, but I'm so surprised it's so funny. Watch a single episode of Smiling Friends if you haven't. It's so funny.
I think we all have.
Yeah, we've all watched Smiling Friends.
Okay, I was like, I know everyone's seen it, but like only recently I've seen just one episode, and I was like, it's so funny. Oh my gosh.
No, it's like the best cartoon on television right now.
And I love the different types of media they put in. The mixed media is what makes it so unique and interesting. Like I saw 3 episodes that were only handmade puppets, like sock puppets and stuff. It was so cool.
Oh yeah, that was the April Fool's joke.
Excellent. So well done.
They said it was like, oh, hey guys, yeah, April 1st is when season 2 airs. And what they did instead was they took 3 episodes from season 1 and did it all in puppets.
Yeah, remade them. It was so good.
Yeah, it's so good. It's really surprising like how good that show is, because that is the natural progression of the Newground style humor.
True.
In a way that you would not expect it to. It is, you could say it is an edgy show, but I don't think that gives it enough credit. It's just,
yeah, I agree.
Like a good show that is not afraid to just get fucking weird and pull out non sequiturs like crazy, but just still have this realness to it that I think is just why it's like clicked with so many people.
It makes me realize that nowadays with like short attention spans, etc., I really enjoy media that's kind of a stream of consciousness. Like these episodes are a stream of consciousness, or just like a thought of like thinking something, like a way of thinking about something, and like it escalating. Just like when you listen to podcasts, right? Like it's also kind of like that. It's hard for me to describe, but I really like it.
I get it. Yeah. But so who wants to assign first? Who wants to dish out the first slash?
Jake, you'll decide this. Do I actually cause Cullen physical harm this week, or am I kind to him?
Text to me what that is. Text to me what the physical harm is.
Hang on.
Oh my god. Yes.
Oh god.
Okay. Cullen, you like challengers a lot, right?
Yeah, I love men kissing.
So you're gonna watch Call Me by Your Name.
Oh, okay, cool.
With not actual cannibal, but alleged cannibal Army Hammer.
I think it's really funny that you were like, oh, I'm gonna doom him, and instead you were just like, I'm gonna give you a good date night opportunity with your girlfriend. Ooh,
bro, this movie's no man, this movie, no.
I'm gonna feel awkward sitting in the same room.
We watched Challengers together.
No, Keep in mind
right.
that this is a relationship between a 16-year-old boy and a 30-something-year-old man.
Oh, okay.
That makes
Never
it
mind.
even
Well,
worse.
I mean, she might find that like not she, but like we might find that entertaining. Then I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
entertaining
I'll let
until
you
you're
know.
tired of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. Honestly, boring is the worst thing something could be.
That's
So.
true, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'm interested
Enjoy.
to hear how you like
All right.
it.
Maybe I will. Maybe I won't.
Making one call, I think Cullen will point out the exact same scene I have.
Okay.
Okay.
I will look out for a scene to point out.
All right.
All right. And then next, I must lash out against GC.
Okay. Hit me with it.
I want you to watch the 1984 movie Macross Do You Remember Love?
Whoa.
Huh?
Yeah.
Macross Do You Remember Love?
For some background, what they did after Macross aired is that they remade all of it in a movie that was meant to compile the entire show. It is not a compilation movie in the traditional sense where they reused all the animation. They fully reanimated the entire story to fit in a movie.
Yo, I'm actually interested in watching that.
It is probably too het for Kazuma to get any enjoyment out of it. So that's why I imagine he's just stewing over there.
No, I love G Gundam, and those are the best heterosexuals I've ever seen in my life.
Okay,
Absolutely
that's a
agree.
bar for
Yeah.
heterosexuals that is impossible to meet. And I'm not saying this will.
Okay.
Yeah. This
Like,
is
we have-
one of
We have high
my
standards for heterosexuality.
Yeah, I have very high. Don't waste my fucking time being straight, all right?
all right, fair enough. Canceling my plans to visit in all right, cool. Cancel those plane tickets.
Nice. Made some savings.
But GC, I care about this movie quite a lot. Don't let that get in the way of your enjoyment. Just watch it. Tell me what you think.
Okay. All right. You've sentenced me to death because you've given me homework where I have to sit down and do nothing but watch a movie.
Yeah, you have to watch a cool movie. Oh,
I know it's impossible for me to sit down and do that.
do you want to watch it together?
Sure.
Oh, can I join?
Yeah.
Yay!
If we can't get something scheduled like with the three of us, GC, please just watch the movie.
Okay. Yeah. Of course.
Is that okay, Jake?
Fine.
Just because I want to ensure.
Fine.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure he talks about it next episode.
I'm just playing with you.
I want to give I want to start assigning GC like cool old anime to watch that is outside of his not comfort zone, but it's just like new stuff for him.
It'd be out of my comfort zone. This is out of my comfort zone. Your comfort zone can just be something that you're like used to.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Let's see. What do I assign Kazuma for homework? See, it's just so difficult because it's like I want to do something fun, but I don't want to do something like.
But Kazuma can't have fun.
No, that's not
I'm
true.
just incapable of it.
He can have fun. He has the capacity for fun.
Oh, you're allowing him to have fun?
Thank
Kazuma,
you,
you're
GC.
free.
Yes. Oh, finally, I can shake off the shackles of being a hater.
Wow, you get to enjoy things. All right, high bar, GC. Good luck.
All right, Kazuma, you can pick
All right.
between a game or a movie.
Oh God.
Movie.
We've kind of all. It could be
Yeah,
the
let's
movie.
give me a movie.
I want you to watch Johnny Mnemonic.
I love that movie.
Fuck.
You like Johnny Mnemonic too?
I love Johnny Mnemonic.
And he'll stop being the same person.
Johnny. But
It's like a
says,
very seminal piece of cyberpunk media.
Excuse me, it says Johnny Mnemonic, not mnemonic. It's mnemonic.
Yeah, get schooled, idiot.
Mnemonic.
I googled it. I googled mnemonic. It's wrong. It's mnemonic.
Enemy spotted.
Enemy spotted. Yeah, but it's it's so hard. Oh my god.
It's mnemonic.
All right, then
You
watch
really
Johnny
say
Mnemonic.
no way.
Do it again. Watch it again.
No,
or
give him something new.
Or what you can do specifically, which might do something to your brain. If you like Johnny Mnemonic so much, watch the black and white release of Johnny Mnemonic.
I'll do that. I haven't seen the black and white release.
All right, watch that then.
Okay, thank you, GC. I'm like doing a little like bow, like I'm like a serf and you're like a lord, you know? Like I'm just like, oh, thank you, my lord, for your generosity.
I just put mnemonic into Google Translate and click the audio, and y'all are right. That's unbelievable.
Yeah,
The
we would
English
never lie to
language
you.
is so full of shit.
But yeah, those are our homework assignments.
Yeah, and from homework, do we want to slide right into the comment section? Answer some comments.
Yes. We have 3 today, all emails. And just to let you all know, if you'd like to get a question answered on the show, all you have to do is email burnoutculturepodcast@gmail.com.
Or comment in our Twitter comments and tell Cullen that he was wrong. He was wrong to doubt my ability to plank.
Oh, I was like, that could be about literally anything.
Yeah, well, you're actually right most of the time. Don't sell yourself short.
I think the listeners could also suggest another challenge aside from the planking for like the next follower step, like next milestone.
Oh yeah, do that on Twitter, definitely. Don't email us those.
Yeah, but what you can email is pictures of your pets, or if you have any like unreleased Area 51 government documents, you can also forward those to us.
You're just saying that because you field all our comments.
Maybe.
Oh, I'm onto your game.
Oh, are you?
Oh, ho, ho. Our first one is from Bramcracker. Hello, burned out gang. First of all, I just want to say I think y'all should feel free to talk about music more, since it's just as valid a form of media to discuss as video games or movies/shows. Actual question though for Kazuma. What are some good bands to get into if I want to dip into post-hardcore stuff, since you mentioned knowing a lot about it?
Hell fucking yeah. Okay, so we're gonna just jump into some recommendations immediately. So what I was really into was like Southern post-hardcore, so we're gonna go with like, hang on, I'm gonna give you specific album recommendations as well.
Oh.
Because this is actually very specific. So
I know which one you're gonna suggest, I think.
Yes, probably. So first of all, you're gonna want to listen to the Wrongdoers album by Norma Jean. That's probably their best album when it comes to their post-hardcore sound. Obviously, that's really contentious among people that like them because like Josh Skogan was part of their like first album. He ended up leaving the band for reasons that include them wanting to smoke pot, and Josh Skogan's like super straight edge, like big Jesus lover, because Norma Jean's like a quote unquote Christ core band or whatever. Their music's about God. You guys know about that whole, yeah?
Disclaimer, you can smoke weed and love Jesus if you like.
Yeah, but being straight edge is like no drugs, no alcohol consumption, and no premarital sex.
Being boring.
Yeah, no, that I get. I get. Straight edge is cool.
And he was,
do that.
yeah. And he was straight edge, so he left the band because of that. So basically listen to the Wrongdoers album. There's like another album of theirs that's pretty decent. It is their Redeemer album. That one's fine though. It really depends on what your capacity is for like guttural screaming and stuff. The It Hates You album by He Is Legend is a classic. That whole album is really, really good and sort of marks a turning point in the sound of that entire group, because I Am Hollywood was when the singer didn't destroy his vocal cords yet. And so in It Hates You, he sounds completely different, but it really adds to the sense of weirdness to their music because their lyrics are nonsensical. Heavy Fruit is also pretty good by He Is Legend. Maylene and the Sons of Disaster is pretty good, but only their album 2. Anything before that's kind of meh, but their album 2 is pretty solid. Another really, really good one. Hang on, I'm like going through this entire list right now.
Yeah, while you go through it, I can make a suggestion. A song that you also introduced me to, obviously, because I did not know anything about post-hardcore. But what's this song that sounds like a Shadow the Hedgehog song? It's like Them Bones or something?
That's that's grunge.
Oh,
that's Alice in Chains.
Sorry, but it sounds like Shadow the Hedgehog music. It's awesome.
That music is so fucking awesome. I love Shadow the Hedgehog soundtrack.
You should listen to Them Bones by Alice in Chains.
Yes, please do. It sounds like it's from Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah, link it to me.
Okay, it's like a classic.
I'll find it. Give me a sec.
Yeah.
Sick. I'll listen to it after the show.
Strangely enough, Pierce the Veil made a really, really good song called Past the Nirvana. It's like part of their latest album. That's kind of the only good song on it. I'm giving you a lot of like, I'm old TM recommendations.
Get overwhelmed, viewer.
Yeah, but those are like the 3 albums I'd say to start with. And then after that, you can kind of like branch into other groups. Like, obviously, you have like Under Oath and everything, but I don't really think they're hard enough. But they're, well, it's true.
Too soft?
Yeah, like, no, that's a thing, right? Like, someone's like, I found this really cool track. I think you'd like it. It's pretty hard. And I'm like, okay, it's all right. It's fine. So I didn't like Pierce the Veil like a really long time ago because they just were not interesting, like sounding to me. Because I was like listening to like Zayo and everything. And if people know who Zayo are, then Zayo was like, their whole musical style was that their bassist would crank the bass so high that it would literally just make clicking noises when they would like strum the guitar. And that was like part of like their whole thing. They ended up writing a album about the book Revelations and then got banned from selling their music in churches, which is really funny. But yeah, those are like my top 3 recommendations. He is Legend, Norma Jean, specifically from their Wrongdoers era, and then Maylene, but only Maylene Part 2. So those are my recs. Very, very basic.
Cool.
Yep.
You know, GC, what music do you listen to? I don't think I've ever like asked.
Clown music.
Oh, that's mean.
I listen to a lot of alternative music, I guess. I listen to a lot of Weezer. I listen to a band called the Crane Wives. I like The Strokes.
Sorry.
The 1975. Bands like that. And then
the 1975 is like, oh my God. Yeah. They're a mood. I like them. They're a mood. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of bands like that. And yeah, that's basically it. Like what I used to do, I don't do this anymore because I don't use Spotify anymore. But what I used to do is I would just let Spotify recommend me music. And if I liked the song, I would put it in a playlist labeled after the year that I heard it in.
That's really cool.
So I would have like 2024, like if I was still doing it, I would have 2024, 2023, 2022, 2021. And it would just be bands and like music from those bands that I listened to. I do have a recommendation. It's a little, I don't think my music taste is very good. I think I have very poor taste in music. There's a little band called The Trouble with Templeton, and they're named after an episode of The Twilight Zone. They have, I think, 3 or 4 albums. I listen to them when I'm sad, and they are really therapeutic for that. I don't know what genre they're in. I don't know how to describe their music. It's like sad music that's weirdly optimistic. It is melancholy and hope intermingled into one, and I really, really like them. They don't have a lot of, last I checked, they don't have a lot of listens on like streaming services or anything like that. Like they had maybe like 10,000 listens in a vault, like period, the last time I checked. But yeah.
You should listen to From Indian Lakes.
Oh yeah.
From Indian Lakes is really good. I think you'd like them if you like alternative music.
Yeah, that's my kind of sad white boy music.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really is. Like it's so you'll love it.
GC, considering what I just heard, are you a fan of the shoegaze genre?
I guess so, yeah. Like I guess that would be this is a foot joke, isn't it?
Yeah.
Me just here ready to recommend Cullen shoegaze because I fucking love shoegaze.
Okay, but like
Googling
genuinely
shoegaze?
though, I discovered a band on Twitter a couple nights ago, and the reason I found this out was because their merch, like for their US tour that they were using to like fund the tour, got stolen by some like, of those shirt bots or whatever, and they were saying like, yeah, don't do this, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. This is a band that's touring. I have nothing better to do. Let me listen to their music. And the band was, and I'm sure you already know about this, I'm sure this is a very popular shoegaze band, Mass of the Fermenting Dregs.
No,
You
no.
don't know about them?
No, I don't know them.
Okay, I really like them. I liked what I heard so much that I bought their shirt, and I'm considering going to DC when they go there just to hear them live.
Oh, hell yeah. So, Cullen, I'm going to give some recommendations to you.
Mm-hmm.
Wisp, Glare, Loathe.
Those are just words.
Blue Smiley.
You're just saying shit.
Salvia Plath.
Apple Bottom.
And Flying Fish.
Boots?
Banana Pancake.
With the fur?
With the fur.
So these are all really, really, really. I think Take Care is good as well. But Loathe and Wisp are really, really good.
Looking at her.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
She hit the floor.
Next thing you know.
GC got low.
Just GC laying on the ground as he's editing the podcast.
He's done planking.
No, yeah, I don't think there's GC. I don't think you have bad music taste. I don't think that even exists. Like, no, it's like by nature, what you like, you gravitate towards a sound. Like, it's entirely subjective.
Some sounds are simply not made for the human psyche. You have not heard of German folk music.
Oh, it's so bad. Like, oh my god, it's so bad.
Naga is the worst thing on this earth.
But the thing is, there's a reason it exists. Because someone was into it. Like, I'm being real here. I'm not being like funny, I mean, like, I genuinely believe, like, fucking, even if there are genres of music I can't fucking stand, there are people who love that shit. And I think that is what makes music so amazing. It is like, more than any other art form typically, that is like probably as subjective as you can get. Well, I'm being like pretentious here.
So you'd say that music is more subjective than, for example, painting.
I mean, okay, I will say instead that art forms that only have one sensory like feeling associated with them, that is some of the most subjective you will get with art, like period. Because there's nothing else really there. It is like you close out every single other part of your senses around it. And just how does this one sense hit your brain? So yes, painting and...
painting only has the sense of seeing it though.
No, that's what I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, sorry. I'm just trying to understand. Okay.
No, it was just Cullen is a pretentious art snob that makes no sense. Welcome to the
you're
podcast.
fine. You make sense. No, I know what you're saying. I think, I would agree. Like, yeah, it is, ultimately, it is born out of like I saw, and again, I'm so boring. I was like, I saw this tweet, but it was very interesting where someone said, why isn't, for example, dancing, singing, making any music, no matter what, like, why isn't this a daily activity? Like, for example, a bird singing or a duck going to take a swim, right? This is like an intrinsic human thing to make sounds. So I feel like we've put it to such a high standard that it has become art because it's so hard for people to express themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
But I guess to end this, GC, recommend an alternative band for people.
GC did.
No, like another one.
Another one? I don't know. Go listen to Weezer's Blue album again.
Okay, I just wanted a definitive thing to leave other viewers who aren't into hardcore. Give them something to do.
No, all of you are into hardcore now. We're all gonna go to the show. You're all wearing black jeans, Too Tight band
sick.
T-shirts.
No.
The black jeans are gotta be so fucking tight. They're so skinny.
Mm-hmm.
The black jeans can be as tight as they want. If I wear a band shirt, it needs to be like loose.
No, man, no. We're going back to the studded belts, to the bandanas, all of it.
Looking angry, even though you're having a great time.
Yeah.
But I guess thank you so much for the question. Let's see. We have a very long question, which, well, it's not really for you, at least not necessarily. And I'm not going to not read this, but I think I will I will go out of order and go with the shorter one, just so we have plenty of time to end the show with a big question.
Okay.
Alrighty. So we have from friend of the podcast, Jess, they said, "Hey, y'all. Hope you're having a good week so far. We all have pieces of media that we see, get interested in, and want to experience, but literally can't due to a language barrier until we either learn the language or someone translate it for us, whether that's official or otherwise. Things getting translated is always exciting to hear. For me, every once in a while, I remember that the great Japanese mystery novel Dogra Magra, I probably fucked that up, the first of the 3 great mysteries, is finally getting a direct English translation. I believe there's a Japanese to French to English one after 80 years, and it makes me smile. Do y'all have a piece of media that fascinates you, but isn't available in a language that you can understand yet? Whether it's games, movies, books, etc. I really love hearing about this stuff."
See, I'm lucky because everything I like is localized, or I can just understand it in.
Yeah, no, you don't get to answer this.
Yeah,
you
no,
know all the languages.
Yeah, no, sorry, I don't get to answer these questions.
For me, it's pretty much anything Dragon Quest related that doesn't make it stateside. Yeah, I really wish I could. I really wish I could play a lot of like
10.
A lot of games that I would need to know a different language to play. You could just insert Dragon Quest there. You can insert like, I don't know. No, yeah, it's just the Dragon Quest stuff. That's it. I'm gonna end my answer with just the Dragon Quest stuff. And then as for like other pieces of media, I don't know. I'm not big into a lot of like international media besides like the obvious stuff. Yeah, no. That's pretty much it.
I'm going to throw just a softball that will just that they will appreciate, but it will not challenge them in the slightest. They are a big Suda 51 fan. That is actually how we became friends and started working on occasional videos together. But I will just say the obvious. I really want to fucking play Moonlight Syndrome. I really, really need that to get localized because that has been the one game in Suda's gameography that has eluded us for so long, and I really just want to play it because I fucking love weird, old, creepy PS1 games.
What about you, valued guest?
Yes, guest, speak.
Personally, I would like for all the Hamtaro games to be localized. There are many, many more Hamtaro games that have not made it to the international market. I think that is a crime against humanity. And I think society will be better off playing more Hamtaro games because it teaches you everything about kindness and friendship that you need to know. Aside from that, personal anecdote, when I was interested in the Yakuza games, we got Yakuza Ishin, and I didn't speak Japanese then. Now I'm like better because I'm studying it, but I didn't speak a word. And there was an entire website from a person that likes this game, and they literally translated every single dialogue from every single character, NPC, whatever it was. And that was so interesting because I navigated a game in which I did not understand a single thing, but I was able, from the work of one person, I was able to understand everything. The cultural context, the historical context too, because they had personal information and stuff in there too. Like, it was so dedicated, and I find that incredibly impressive. Shout out to that one dude.
That person also did a translation for the Black Panther games as well.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'll see if I can find the site again. But it might have actually been taken down.
Maybe. It was incredible.
Yeah.
I got those translations.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, because he was just like, hey, I'm just translating this for fun. I don't think this game series is really going to pop off in the way it needs to for them to bring this over. It was really funny.
Yeah, it was like 2 or 3 years after, like, when it was popping off.
Yeah.
Very interesting. But yeah.
I actually remembered another weird PS1 game I want to mention before we go. So maybe this is something that Jess has not heard about. I watched an anime that came out a couple years ago. It wasn't necessarily like the best ever, but I liked its swag, I guess you could say. It was called The Perfect Insider. I found out they made a PS1 visual novel game based off of this, and I am very fascinated by like licensed games in that way, like ones with very high effort for this really niche thing, like the Lane PS1 game. That's super fucking cool. And this is just they made a visual novel based off of, I think at the time this was just a book. So I want to see someone translate that, even if the only person who would actually play it would be me. But yeah, thank you for the question.
That just reminded me of another thing. Just real quick, I don't know, since your friend is interested in these types of games and stuff, and you mentioned a movie, there's a Japanese movie. I actually talked about this in university. That's why I thought about it. It came out in 1989, and it's called Sweet Home in English. In Japanese, just called Hausu, so house. And it's about a haunted house and like lots of kids going there. There's also a video game with an incredibly high amount of effort that also came out 1989.
Do you know what that inspired?
Oh, that was Resident Evil.
That's Resident Evil, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I know about that.
Yeah. So, so that's maybe then people will know it probably, but it's super interesting if you want to check that out too. Their translation.
I think Sweet Home.
For it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think Sweet Home did get translated, which is cool.
Oh, it did, yeah. Oh, okay.
Or well, at least the game. I don't know about the movie, but I imagine
like official translations.
Well, fan translation on the game.
Yeah, fan translations are there for sure.
Oh,
officially.
never mind. No, I do know what I want to have translated into English. It's a movie with Riki Takeuchi. It's called Dead or Alive. Yeah, Dead or Alive with Riki Takeuchi.
God, that movie's crazy.
Yeah, it's basically a Yakuza zombie thriller.
So fucking crazy.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad it wasn't the Yakuza playing beach volleyball.
You know, maybe that can be a sequel.
Hanging with the boys?
That actually would be kind of entertaining.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you just very much. And last, but certainly not least, from MVP of the show, Sonia, I'm going to start by actually reading the subject title on this one to get Kazuma excited.
Oh my God.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
World of Warcraft.
Yes.
Mists of Pandaria.
Okay.
Semicolon. Colonialism and Orientalism.
Okay.
Oh, are you not excited by that? I don't know it.
Well,
I'm going to talk about sexy pandas.
Go ahead and read the question.
All right.
Okay.
This is a very big question, and I am curious if I will actually have anything I can really say on this, but if not, that's okay. I think I'm the only one who does an MMO here. Dear Burnt Out Bros.
Yes.
For a myriad of reasons. After my question concerning Kazuma's opinion on 14, I have started playing World of Warcraft again. The recent event having players revisit and level through the Mists of Pandaria expansion, in tandem with Kazuma's specific issues with 14 and its Stormblood expansion, has made me start thinking about WoW's relatively good overall portrayal of the issues and damage caused to natives by colonialism. However, I study physics, not literature, cultural anthropology, history, or any relevant field that would help me prepare to further dissect more nuanced issues regarding its handling of colonialism. I just want to take a quick diversion and be like, Sonia, your question's really good. It's 2:30 in the morning and I'm tired. You got to stop writing such good questions.
Well, I think GC and I can tag team this question.
No, I'm just, there's more.
Okay.
I just got to catch my breath.
Okay.
Oh, while I think the narrative, wait, did I mention more nuanced issues regarding its handling of colonialism? Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
While I think the narrative ultimately condemns the colonialist effort of the Horde and Alliance on micro scales, I don't think it should go without notice that on the macro scale, the main issue the continent of Pandaria faces, the Shah, is something that, while exacerbated by the presence of the Horde, another quick break, I have no idea what I'm reading.
So awesome.
I will continue. No, oh, this is awesome. Genuinely. Exacerbated by the presence of the Horde and Alliance has always been a native problem to the land and is an issue that is only permanently solved by the involvement of foreign powers in tandem with Pandaria's own. Furthermore, my skin is as white as the Swiss Alps my family comes from. And as a result, your question is genuinely amazing.
Yes.
And as a result, I am woefully under-equipped to properly analyze any Orientalism present in it, which, as a story written by Americans that takes heavy influence from China, I'm gonna assume is inherently there on some level. This leads me to my two questions for Kazuma.
Okay.
I think it's awesome that your question has a essay preface.
Yes.
And while I say this with my heart, I do not say this with my brain or my voice. more questions need to begin like this.
See, this is how you know that like these are the questions that I get, right? It's like, what kind of music do you like? Or can we talk about colonialism and imperialism in video games? I'm like, all right, come sit down, my child. We're gonna have a discussion.
Yeah, then Cullen gets a question and it's like, have you heard of the pee pee poo poo man?
And I'm like, yes, we talk every week. But I will like if I need to take multiple breaks on your question, that's awesome. You should definitely try to make me suffer because I'm the guy who reads these. All right, I will continue.
Okay.
And I will reiterate. This leads me to 2 questions for Kazuma.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on the resolution of Pandaria's story framing the involvement of foreign powers being necessary to solve Pandaria's internal issues, and how that ties back into the expansion's overall portrayal of colonialism?
Mm-hmm.
And do you have any thoughts or insights regarding any Orientalist elements in Mists of Pandaria? Is it Pandaria? Pandaria. Okay, it's Pandaria.
Pandaria. Yeah.
Pandaria?
Pandaria. I don't fucking know.
I don't think it matters.
Yeah. It's Mist of Pandaria. There we go.
Okay, I was that little like that driver. It's like honk if I drove good.
honk 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 honk.
Honk.
Oh, great.
Honk.
Wait, I'm getting distracted. Ah! But it was best regards, Sonia. Yes. My apologies if this was hard to parse. I'm not the best when it comes to getting my thoughts down on paper, and it's taken me almost an hour to write this. Basically just being like, I'm sorry if this is hard to parse. And I imagine it was only hard to parse if you are me.
Yeah.
So take it away, Kazuma, you genius.
Okay,
it is almost 3 a.m.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for writing in the question. I really appreciate you actually wanting to talk about this and have like a dialogue about this on the podcast. I think that's like really cool. Your thoughts were super easy to parse, so don't worry about that at all. Unfortunately, I cannot give you a definite answer on that first question because I haven't played Mists of Pandaria. GC, have you played Mists?
I have not, unfortunately.
Isn't that really old?
So that is when people kind of dropped off because people were already kind of like, I'm not feeling Cataclysm. I'm not feeling after Arthas is gone. Blizzard hasn't hit the smash fucking the emergency Arthas button yet, and they still haven't, but they're kind of hitting it with Anduin. You don't know any of this, Cullen. It's fine.
No, I don't. If I'd like to have a little input though in my place, if I'm able to get an MMO nerd friend to record themselves talking about it for a minute, will you insert that here?
Ladies and gentlemen, and those beyond the binary, may I introduce to you K-Bash.
Okay, so Pandaland, Mists of Pandaria, just confounding expansion coming from Blizzard. As a World of Warcraft player, you're sitting there like, we just cleaned up Deathwing. We just killed 2 expansions ago, the Lich King. What do we got next? We got pandas. We got fascism or something. Whatever. Put down Garrosh. Point being, that expansion was beautiful. Like, you sit there as a confounded fan. Like, I don't want to play this. I don't want to go to Panda Place and do silly, wacky things, but doesn't matter. Full Force Blizzard comes out with the one-liners, with the quality gameplay, with the fantastical colors, with the beautiful landscapes and interesting design angles. And I played so much Pandaland, man. I love that game. I think there is something weird about going to that place, Warcraft 3 Chen Storm Stout type business, Illidan with the little panda on his weapon plate in Warcraft 3, and then actually going there after they ran out of stuff. It felt like, oh, Kung Fu Panda. But like, listen, Green Fire, need I say more?
Okay, cool.
So I actually don't know a lot about Mists of Pandaria because my initial reception to it when it came out was, oh, okay, it's like an expansion set in like vague East Asia. I'm never going to play World of Warcraft. Cut to now. I love playing World of Warcraft. I think World of Warcraft definitely has a lot of narrative pitfalls and a lot of problems, things that I have discussed on my stream a lot with my friend Apple Cider Witch, who has been a World of Warcraft player since the beginning and still plays World of Warcraft now that there have been like significant changes within Blizzard. There are a lot of LGBTQIA plus writers that are part of like the story team now, and just the environment has like changed a bit. I can't answer your first one, but I can answer the second one regarding the use of the Asian aesthetic, right? To me, it's very much in the category of what Guild Wars 2 also does, and a lot of Western studios do, where they do this sort of like accidental pan-Asianism because they just think all of this stuff is like really cool and they want to add it in together, right? It's like, they're like, oh, I really like the way this building looks. And they point at it and they say, I want to have that in the game. I want to have that flair, but I also want to have Asian dragons. And then they point at a Vietnamese style dragon, right? Which is not the same as a Chinese style dragon or a Japanese dragon, right? These are not the same things. And then they go, oh, but I really like this environment. And then they point to some mountain range in Korea and they go, but I also want samurai. And then you have all of these things blended together in a way that is just your sort of run-of-the-mill, vague, you know, blending of Asian cultures, not necessarily just East Asian, but also Southeast Asian, all of that as well. It's just very run-of-the-mill Orientalism, right? And I don't think developers ever intend to do this or are malicious when they do it. It is usually because they think something is really cool, but they haven't sought out the resources to educate themselves, right? It's like how for Ghost of Tsushima, I don't like that story. I think that game is bad and boring. Do I think Sucker Punch intentionally wrote like a full propaganda, like pro-imperialist story on purpose? No, they didn't, because they didn't know any better, right? Mists of Pandaria is a relic of a time before cultural consultation or international communications between teams was very much a thing. And it's super reflective of that. It is, you know, Orientalist. I don't believe, at least in my opinion, it was done maliciously. It's still kind of like, okay, I get it. You know, like it is what it is, right? And there isn't really anything Blizzard can kind of do to course correct that. But in the future, if they do involve anything with Pandaria again, that there could be steps taken to, you know, do that. Do I think it is better than Overwatch? In my opinion, yes. Because at least they aren't getting the kanji wrong in a cinematic. At least nobody is default samurai or ninja. It's just like there's like these different tiers, I guess, of what is and isn't, I don't know, passable. As I get older, I'm just kind of like, well, it could have been worse regarding the way it is, but
Could have been XIV.
It's 14 is different. People are gonna be like, well, why is he fine with it in Pandaria and why is he fine with it and why does he hate it in 14? The issue between these things is that one of these things is done because white people are ignorant and are weirdo freaks about East Asia in a way that it's really fetishistic, but ultimately it is not Pan-Asianism that is representative of a previous colonial effort that attempted to fold all of Asia into itself to make it part of the empire of, like, the Japanese empire, right? Like, there is a storied history there regarding that. There is a very storied history of what Pan-Asianism represents to Japan that is present in 14 that you can't call ignorant because it's not fucking, I don't know, like Jim White guy who works at Blizzard that, I don't know, watches wuxia movies and thinks that shit's cool as hell but doesn't do any research other than that, right? It's the context is super different. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody.
Yeah, that's why I brought up XIV, because I think that's so important. It's the context of who the fuck is making it also, right? Like,
yeah,
who the fuck is writing this shit? Who the hell is putting this in there? Like, I get it if it's like, again, John William Neo or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, but do I think that it should be given a pass? Do I think it's, like, ultimately acceptable? No, I think Blizzard can do better, and I would like to see them do better regarding that. I know that they have actually made, like, narrative steps to make the pandas less, like, you know, Zen monks and everything, which I think is cool. Obviously,
Yeah.
my opinion does not represent the entire spectrum of Asian people that have played this game. My cousin, for example, he didn't like Mists of Pandaria because he was like, they couldn't even get the fucking dragons right. And to him, it was like,
I remember him talking about it, and
Yeah.
I had no touching points with World of Warcraft. He was like, fucking Miss of fucking Pandaria, it blows. And I was like, oh man.
No, my cousin fucking hated it, man. And he was a huge Warcraft fan. He was part of like a top 50 rating guild in fucking Wrath of the Lich King doing Ice Crown Citadel.
He sees a panda, he loses it.
Yeah, he was like, it's really, he was just like, it's fucking dumb. Like, they just got even the smallest cultural details wrong. They really think that all these things are the same. So obviously his opinion is really different than mine, where I'm like, well, hopefully Blizzard just does better, because you can't really undo the sins of the past unless they really want to redo the entire expansion. It would be kind of cool if they actually redid the entire expansion. But if I get through it more, you'll hear about it on the podcast, because I am going through old World of Warcraft expansions. I just never want to leave Wrath of the Lich King.
As we all do.
Yeah. And you know, GC, did you play through Miss GC or no?
No.
Okay. So I guess okay. We're little classic baby players here. We never want to leave Wrath.
No. We want to stay in the golden age.
Yeah, we want to stay with Arthas. Come back to us.
Yeah, please come back. I am alone.
Yeah, thank you for your question, Sonia.
Yeah, and
it's great.
Yeah, just as an aside again, like if you want to submit questions, definitely do so at our email address. Cullen mentioned earlier, I'll mention it now. burnoutculturepodcast@gmail.com, or shoot us some questions on Twitter at burnoutculturepod. And also tell Cullen he's weak.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as a reminder, as you could tell from me being here today, there are no stupid questions. No one will ever laugh at you.
Mm-mm.
We love every question, ever.
Unless you ask, like, why do you have bad opinions about Gundam Seed, Cullen? Then I think that's stupid.
No, I think that's a great question. I'd love to hear Cullen go on a rant about that again.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you everybody for your questions, and thank you for listening, everyone. It was great talking about, you know, the things we talk about, the things we love, the things we hate, Square Enix financials, Cullening. And thank you, Jake, for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, you were great.
Yeah, you're the best. You're the best guest we will ever have and have ever had.
Oh my god, I'm actually the best guest so far, huh?
Yeah.
Wait, is Snart around?
No, but Saijima screaming at me.
Okay, I was like, if you could bring Snart to the mic, but don't
Wait
do
a
it.
second.
Okay.
Hello, Snart. Will you say something?
Speak to your audience.
Snart, the people demand to know.
What do you think about Mr. Pandaria?
He's too sleepy, but he loves pandas.
Miss of Pandaria gets a 10 out of 10 from Snart.
Yeah, he thinks pandas are cute. That's why Miss of Pandaria gets a 10 out of 10 from Snart. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Once again, you can find us at burnoutculturepodcast@gmail.com for those questions, at burnoutculturepod on Twitter, and just at Burnout Culture on YouTube. And you can also find us on Spotify. Thank you, everybody, for listening this week. Next week will be our inaugural session of Killing Cullen. So hope everybody tunes in for that one.
Exciting.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we'll have to kill Cullen again.
Yay!
This is for all those foot jokes.
No!
All right. Thank you for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.